You've paid good money for an NBA ticket. You're sitting courtside waiting for some action, but the scoreboard shows 3 points after the entire first quarter. Sounds crazy, right? Well, in the early 1950s, that was normal. Fans sat in silence as teams passed the ball around for minutes at a time, stalling the game to protect the lead. By 1953, league scoring dropped below 80 points per game. Arenas were half empty. TV stations began cutting basketball from their schedules. And then came the game. The one that became a running joke in sports history. The Fort Wayne Pistons versus Minneapolis Lakers, final score 19-18. Players just held the ball. The crowd booed. Announcers ran out of things to say. Basketball was slowly dying in front of everyone's eyes. Even stars like George Mikan, a 6'10" powerhouse, averaging nearly 24 points per game, couldn't save it. Coaches started teaching guards like Bob Cousy to dribble endlessly and run out the clock. The result? 15 NBA teams folded in just a few years. Fans stopped showing up, and league officials quietly began wondering if the NBA would even exist in 10 years. But one man refused to watch the sport he loved fade away. His name was Danny Biasone, owner of the Syracuse Nationals. Together with his general manager Leo Ferris, they sat down one afternoon at a local restaurant with a pile of old box scores and a few napkins. Biasone started crunching numbers. He realized that if teams took around 120 shots per game, the action stayed exciting without becoming chaotic. So he divided the total game time by 120 and got 24 seconds. That was the magic number. Biasone then built the very first shot clock himself by hand in his garage. He wired lights and timers so players, referees, and fans could all see the countdown. Then came the test. In early scrimmages, everyone could feel it. The difference was electric. Suddenly, teams had to move. They had to think fast. They had to play. The experiment worked. In 1954, NBA owners voted unanimously to make the 24-second shot clock official for the upcoming season. And instantly, the league came back to life. Scoring jumped 15%, from 79.5 points per game to 93.1. Attendance skyrocketed. TV stations started airing games again. Basketball was reborn. Dolph Schayes, the national star forward, later said the NBA wouldn't have survived without the shot clock. Meanwhile, George Mikan, once the game's unstoppable force, realized his slow, methodical style didn't fit the new pace. He retired gracefully, passing the torch to the next generation. And here's the poetic part. The very first NBA champion of the shot clock era? Danny Biasone's own Syracuse Nationals. The man who saved basketball also won it all. The moment the shot clock was introduced, basketball evolved overnight. Suddenly, every possession mattered. Fast breaks became thrilling. Set plays became precise, and clutch buzzer beaters, they became part of basketball's DNA. By 1958, fans were watching the Boston Celtics put up 173 points against the Lakers, a score that would have been unthinkable just a few years earlier. The 24-second rule turned every play into a race against time. Players had to think, pass, and shoot faster. It forced creativity. It demanded courage, and it gave the game something it had never truly had before: suspense. Every crowd began counting down the final seconds. Every buzzer beater became a mini-movie moment. Soon, other leagues took notice. College basketball added its own shot clock. So did the YBNA, FIBA, and nearly every league on the planet, because fans couldn't get enough of that heart-pounding pressure. Decades later, the NBA fine-tuned it again, shortening offensive rebounds to 14 seconds in 2018 to keep the tempo alive. The game was faster, smarter, and more dynamic than ever. And all of it, every alley-oop, every fadeaway, every last-second heave, traced back to that restaurant napkin in Syracuse. Danny Biasone didn't just save basketball, he redefined it. When he was inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame in 2000, his hand-built shot clock was displayed, a simple metal box with wires and bulbs, now a symbol of the sport's heartbeat. And today, that ticking 24-second rhythm shapes the careers of legends. Every LeBron James chase down, every Kobe Bryant fadeaway, every Steph Curry game winner, all exist because one man refused to let basketball die. Danny Biasone's idea didn't just save the NBA, it made basketball an American icon. Fast, fierce, and unforgettable. So the next time the shot clock ticks down from 5, 4, 3, remember that behind that countdown lies the story of a man, a napkin, and a dream that saved the game forever. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because we've got more stories like this coming soon. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep your eyes on the clock.